Welcome to Inside Alex.
Hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for being
Of
here.
course.
Yeah, so tell me about how your day's going, how your week's going.
It's going great. I woke up and the sun is shining. I get to walk in and see Colin's handsome mug every single day.
I love that.
The
I'm sure.
greatest hair in the building, greatest beard in the building. Just an all around great guy.
Well, he is your sales director, so I'm
Yes.
glad that you guys get along that way. But you've been here since January, correct?
Yes.
And you were one of our top LOs, number 3 in terms of volume for March.
Hmm.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. How does it
Sold out.
feel to have gathered that success with being with IHL for such a short time?
I would say it just honestly everything came pretty naturally to me. And I don't mean that in like a confident way. It's just I one of the biggest reasons the draws of coming over here was just the pure leadership and just the pure passion for wanting to win and wanting to be successful. And I feel like ever since I've known Eric, he's always brought that with him. So it was an easy transition for me. There was no question in my mind like where I wanted to go or where I wanted to be or who I wanted to be with. It was just a matter of making it happen. And I walked in day one and I just felt like nothing changed like from when we worked previously before. It was just exactly the same. Like I felt the same energy. I felt the same vibes. I saw a lot of the same faces and I just felt like I was like back to what I had known and back to what like kept me winning in the past. And I feel like that surrounded with like, the constant visibility of leadership on all ends, from processing ops, closing, compliance. Everyone's just very, very good at responding, very receptive. Everyone just has that hunger and drive to win. And I feel like when you have a support staff behind that, it makes it impossible to not do well.
Absolutely, yeah. But I think that that success that you've earned and that you worked for in such a short amount of time was probably motivating to the people around you as well. Because for those that have been here for years and stuff and have earned their own success, it's nice to see that it's still possible no matter when you joined or how long you've been in the industry.
Yeah,
Yeah. So,
100%.
how did you get started with mortgages?
I actually started in finance, so I worked at a job in the mall for numerous years. This is when I was way, way young.
What
Um,
industry was it? Like, what kind of store in the mall?
it was fast food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hey,
mall,
same
I
here.
worked in the food court, and then after I was there for so many years, I was like, I really wanted to just I got to I think I was like 20 years old, and I was like, all right, I'm 20 years old now. I'm no longer in my teens. I want to do something that's going to push me to like be an adult. Like, what is the next thing I can do? And I wanted to obviously get my first house as well. So I actually applied at my local credit union as like a teller because I'm like, well, what's the easiest way to start is just go work at a bank. So I started as like a teller at my local credit union that I've been with for forever. Worked there. Then I got promoted within a year to like an account specialist or something. I did like accounting and all like the bookwork in there. So that's kind of how I got familiar with like the finance aspect of it, like numbers, Excel, everything along those lines. But I always felt that I was had a passion for like talking to people and communicating. And at that job, you weren't like customer facing because you were doing all like the balancing, checks and balances. So I thought, okay, well, if I liked working in the mall and I was customer service before, and I kind of know the finance part of it, I feel like the easiest transition would be doing something sales related. So then that's when one of my buddies was like, hey, come work at my place, and I didn't know anything about mortgages at the time. And I'm like, well, I'll give it a shot and see, it's not going to hurt. I'm sure I'll do okay. And then that was in 2015. And yeah, it's been however long that's been now, what, 11 years,
Yeah,
12 years, something like that.
11. That's insane. Has it felt like 11 years to you, or has it felt longer, shorter?
Honestly, I think it's gone by really fast. And one of the things I tell like the younger people, when they get into the industry, because we see, I feel like some of these kids, maybe they're not, but they're like 18, 19, 20 years young. And I see them, I'm like, man, I can't imagine like if I got into mortgages when I was 21, 20 years old, like how grateful I would be and how much like just how different my life would be then. I don't take anything back, obviously, because I think that the steps that got me to mortgages are why I have humble beginnings and why I am the way I am. But I envy the people that start young because I feel like they have just so much potential to do so well, so young in their life. And I think that it's really cool to be in this industry because it just teaches you if you can sell mortgages, and you can sell mortgages here and do what we do, I feel like you're going to be just a rock star at any position in any job you do at all.
Right, it's universal and it can be applied to a
Correct.
lot of things, but they also say the best time to start is now.
Yes.
So, I think that, you always look back in hindsight's 2020, you're like, "You know what? I wish I started then," but then the second best time
Yes.
would be now.
Correct.
But I think it worked out well for you,
I think so too.
and I heard that previously you were in a managerial role, is that correct?
So I've been actually in management in mortgages longer than I've been in direct sales because the first place I started, I was there from 2015 to the end of 2019. And for the past 3 years, I was managing a team. I was managing a team of late night. We had like a late night crew and it's like 15 to 20 bankers or something. And I remember when I first met Eric, I went there and there was actually a question if I knew how to mortgage bank because I hadn't done it in literally 3 years since I've been on the phone because I was helping run a team. And very confidently, and he talked about this actually in one of the award ceremonies, but very confidently, I was like, "Don't worry about the sales, I got that. Like, I just need to know that I have the format, the structure. Like, I'll figure everything else out."
I
And he
love the
was,
confidence
yeah,
there.
and he was like, "Don't worry about the sales. You haven't sold in 3 years." But I obviously started there, did really well, and then fast forward, it almost was like full circle because then now the previous place I was at, I was there for 6 years, managing for the last 4 years. Hadn't been on the phone since literally April of 2022. I don't know. I just came in. I had that drive, and like I said, it was easy for me to transition because I just felt like nothing changed in a good way, and just smooth sailing. So it's pretty crazy how it came full circle. It's almost the exact same scenario now, a few years down the road. So
Absolutely, and it worked out well for you again.
yeah.
Top 3 in the month of March
Mm.
after being here for less than 3 months. Round of applause again. But how do you think that managerial experience contributed to your success here? And taking that time off and, seeing things from a different point of view?
I think that it helps a lot when it comes to ignoring a lot of the noise. I feel like as mortgage bankers, we let a lot of things dictate why we're not doing well, why we didn't have the month we didn't have, or why we didn't fund what we wanted to fund, or why we didn't close a sale for a client that we were confident was going to do it. And a lot of it is just there's a lot of variables that go into like what we do on a day-to-day basis. And when you're a manager, you're constantly dealing with, pushing files through, putting out fires, helping clients with resells, things like that. So you just have all different you do the mortgages on every single level. And I feel like when you're almost like an air traffic controller, where you just have to know, like, at all times, like, you'll be texting someone on, like, setting up an appointment, then at the same time, you'll be responding to an email, and then a person's gonna be asking you for help on a file, and then someone's gonna ask you a guideline question, so you're literally doing, like, 4 things at once.
I'm just picturing you with like 6 different ways on your
No,
monitor,
that's
but
how it
yeah.
is. Some of the guys I work with are like, I've never seen someone multitask like you, and it's not. It just comes naturally because I feel like we have the day is so long, but it's also so short that you have so much to do in such a short period of time that like one thing you'll notice about me when I work is I just sit down and I just work and I take small breaks as well. But like when I'm at work, I just want to work. That's what I'm here to do. And I feel like when I was in a management position, my goal was to help people move loans and do resells and things like that. But long story short, I feel like you really know what to focus your time and energy on and to not let situations like, issues where files are maybe taking longer to disclose, things like that. They don't impact my day because I don't let it because I already know our job is already so high stress as it is. Like, why would I want to add another layer of something on that I have absolutely no control over? I
Correct.
can't control any of that, so I'm not going to let it impact me from a negative aspect. I'm just going to focus on, the variables that are going to keep me happy, keep me sane, and keep me, hungry and eager on the phones, and everything else will fall in place, and eventually,
Yeah,
I'll have a big month.
absolutely. So do you think people kind of overcomplicate it a little bit?
Yeah, yeah, and I get it. Again, I keep saying this is high pressure sales, so like naturally you're gonna have stress on every aspect if it's with any aspect of the business, client base, whatever. But I feel like again, a lot of times there's just a lot of energy put into places that they don't have to necessarily be, and you can be at the best mortgage place in the industry, and everyone is gonna have things they're working on, issues they're solving on all aspects of the business anywhere. It doesn't matter where it is. And I'm never gonna let that dictate like why I can't fund what I fund because I just obsess over being like the absolute best version I can of myself. And stuff like that is just it's just wasted energy to me, is
Yeah.
I guess the easiest way to put it.
No, I think that's fair. Are there any rituals or like day-to-day habits you do to make sure that you are contributing to your success and you have your day organized and on lock?
For sure. So one of the first things I do, I have 3 children, so my routine is always obviously getting up with them. Theodore, my little one, even if I can play with him for like, 15, 20 minutes before he goes to preschool. I take my daughter Madeline to school every morning. My wife Sunny takes Noah to school. He's on the opposite end, but Madeline, obviously I start the day with just driving her to school, talking about her day, what she has planned, what activities are going on, what did you learn today, or what did you learn this week? Just things like that. Cause I think it makes me really happy just hearing like a 7-year-old just like talk because they're just so innocent and
Yeah,
they're just like, they're so passionate. Like everything they say is so pure. There's no
for
like
sure.
layers of like, oh, are they being deceitful or not? Like it's very genuine. So for
Yeah.
me, starting the day with like a genuine, real conversation.
And you could be having the hardest day or the hardest week, and
Correct.
then she's like, "I learned that Saturn has rings." And
Yes,
you're like, "That's
exactly.
great,
So,
honey."
like, a
Yeah.
genuine, real, authentic conversation actually helps, believe it or not, helps me stay genuine on the phone because I get that very early in the morning. I'm like, "She's so pure." Like, it's like a little cherub baby that I don't wanna hurt. So, then I get in the office, obviously, do my routine, which is, emails, things like that. And then I'll just do, like, check-ins with my processing team, because again, I know everyone's working crazy right now. I'll just say, "Hey, what can I do to help? Is there anything?" Because a lot of times I rely on my team to get it done, but at the same time, I know that everything takes teamwork. And if it's as simple as me getting on a phone call with someone, a borrower, for 5 minutes to obtain something, it's really not that big of a deal. Going back to what we were saying, I feel like there's assumptions that certain roles have to do certain things versus your only assumption to be, what do I have to do? Or your only thought, excuse me, what do I have to do to get this loan closing? There shouldn't be like assumptions made on who has to do what and let that dictate your personality for the day. So I feel like little things like that, it also helps them like, wow, he went out of his way to do this, so on and so forth. So checking with my processing team, making sure they're good. Always touching base with borrowers every 3 or 4 days. This market's very unique. A lot of people are just very nervous. They're holding on to their mortgage with dear life, like it's their largest financial asset, and
Yes.
they're scared to make any changes. And I feel like just touching base with someone, just quick hitters. Hey, just wanted to give you a call. Right now we're waiting on X, Y, and Z. We don't need anything at this point. I hope everything's doing well. How did the soccer game go this weekend? Or something that you
Yeah.
took from the last
Remembering those little
conversation.
things.
And then if you don't have an update for them for a week or so, they're comfortable because you touch base with them. So constant movement on all aspects,
Yeah.
personal and professional.
Absolutely. How do you make sure that you're building those close connections with clients? It's not just like surface level so that they trust you and your ability to help them move forward with that.
It really goes into like setting the tone for the clients on the first call. Also, not matching clients' energies. It's so easy when someone comes on the phone hot, and most people we're talking to right now aren't super thrilled to get on the phone and a transfer, which is okay. So like I really think super deep into it. Like this person is obviously in a financial bind, most likely. Even if they say they're not, no one's gonna wait on hold for 5-10 minutes to get a transfer up that they've never talked to. So there is a need there. The last thing I want to do if someone comes on and say I'm not interested. Well, why aren't you interested? And like kind of approach it with a condescending tone.
Yeah, escalating.
I'm usually just like, hey, it's all good. Let's take a step back. My name's, Alex. I'm, executive loan officer. I get, obviously, you've never met me. This is the first time talking. That's okay. I really want to set the tone. I've been doing this for about 15 years. I'm extremely good at my job, but I'm very transparent. So I know it sounds like you're not sure if something makes sense. I can assure you that either two things are going to happen. We're going to talk for about 2 minutes. I'll tell you that you're in the best spot possible, but at least you have a connection in the industry and, a friend that you can reach out to in the future. Or most of my calls start the same exact way where people come on and say they have a low rate or they don't know if they can do anything or if something makes sense. And the good news is majority of my calls I'm able to end up finding benefit for someone. So I'm not really too worried. I don't want to prejudge the situation by any means. Let's take a step back and I'll see what our options are. And if not, I'll let you know right away.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
kind of just like a real soft.
If I heard that as somebody who, just to be transparent, I usually don't take those kinds of
Mhm.
calls. Most people don't. But if I had a financial need and I had heard a call like that, that would definitely make me lower my guard a little bit. So I
Yeah.
think it just goes into you branding yourself and then I gel and what you can do for that person.
Keeping the
Baby
same
steps.
tone. A lot of tone comes into it as well too, because some people sometimes we tend to need to like get friend zoned at times for clients, for
Mm.
people that either you feel bad that you can't help or just someone that where the call's not going anywhere and we'll talk politely with them, but then a week later you call them and you ask for something and they're giving pushback and then your voice changes a little bit and they're like, "Whoa, where did the Alex, this isn't the same Alex I know, like what happened?" Whereas
Yeah.
if I just keep this tone throughout, there's no emotion in what I'm doing. It's just I'm just here to help them. And if I ask for something, they're going to get it because I'm not bringing emotion into play. And a lot of times, again, matching their energy, bringing the emotion into it, you got to try to just wash that out as much as you can and just sound professional, sound courteous. But these are real people we're talking to. Like, let them talk a little bit, like, but be the expert. That's all it is.
Yeah, you can set the pace of
Mhm.
where the conversation goes, and you don't have to, meet them where they're at. You can control where
Correct.
that goes. Fair enough. What's been the biggest challenge you've learned or lesson you've learned since starting in January?
I would say fully understanding what exactly most of these clients have been through for the last 4 or 5 years. Because from a managerial experience, it's easy to see, but I'm not taking the phone calls from start to finish. So I don't
Right.
hear like, I'll sometimes hear the objections like, "Oh, they're going through this and this is happening," and so on and so forth. So I'll take that into
But
play.
you're
But
hearing it
like,
down the chain pretty
but hearing
much.
it down the chain and hearing like, man, some of these people have been gone through a lot. And like, I care about people. So it's hard for me to not like, it's sometimes I struggle with like, wanting to like hear them out and, and listen to them and just let them like lay it all out on me and trauma dump me, I guess you could say. And then circling back, the constant need is okay, why am I on the phone? Like we're here to, to find a benefit and to, help say put them in a better spot. But like some of these people that have gone through, these debt relief programs are just completely taken advantage of. They had no idea how it went. Their scores plummeted 100 points. Had I had talked to this person 7 months ago, I could have totally changed the file for them. And there's so many calls I get to where they're like, man, I wish I would have called you first. I wish you would have been the one that, helped walk me through this. I just got swindled last time. And it's hard seeing that because it's like these people, especially veterans, they're of honor and ethics. And you would hope that other companies, operate in that same way. And it's hard sometimes when it's like, man, this person really did get taken advantage of. And like, I'm sure they're probably just like very nervous, but it's also reassuring knowing that I know that I'm so experienced in my industry and I'm so good at my job that I know that whatever I'm going to do is going to ultimately put them in a better financial spot regardless. And I can
Absolutely.
help eliminate any of the mistakes they've had. So I would say to answer your question, that was a very long drawn out answer, but the emotion aspect of really just what these clients have gone through
Mhm.
and just, between deaths in their family from getting sick from COVID, from losing jobs, hours cut, people are just very, very, very nervous. And it's nice to know that I can provide them that like glimmer of hope when we're in a really, really tough time in a tough economy that like I'm the person that they look forward to talking to, right? Because most people don't like talking to their finance
It's
person.
vulnerable.
Most exactly. Don't most people don't wanna open up like that. Like, the easiest thing in the entire history of the world is always saying no, right? Because when you say yes, you make yourself vulnerable, right? You say you have a car that's broken down, you go to the car lot, you have $40,000 in your pocket ready to buy a car. The guy walks up to you, "Hey, is there anything I can help you with?" What's the majority of people are gonna say?
No.
No, I'm just looking around, right? Because they don't want to open up and let them know they need help. And these people feel the same way. No, I don't want help. No, I'm good. No, I'm not interested. But there's clearly a need there. And it's nice knowing that I can like pretty much that I can change someone's life on a phone call. And they look
Absolutely.
forward to talking to me, which is nice.
Yeah, and to your point of other companies, taking advantage of that person, which no one deserves, especially veterans and people that have
Mhm.
been through it financially. Again, the best time is now. And I am grateful that we have people like you on the floor who do have a heart and are humans because it is a vulnerable place to be. And you guys have the knowledge to help them. And so it's tough, I'm sure. But again, you are providing that person with the help that they need and will ultimately change their life.
Yeah.
So yeah, after a hard day like that, where you're kind of taking in all that information or you're just on the phone all day, what are some ways you like to unwind and relax a little?
You'll think it's funny because people that walk by my desk, my relaxing times are usually at like from 6 to like 7 p.m. is when I'm like finally my high of doing mortgages has come down and I'm coasting down. But I actually believe it or not, I like listening to like hardcore like metal music.
Ooh, okay.
Just because I just my job, the way I see it, and it's actually similar to Michael Burry, the guy that actually discovered the mortgage crash and all that stuff. If you ever watched that movie, The Big Short with
Yep.
Christian Bale,
Yep.
he was like very into like metal music and like drumming, like because his job, how it is his job is so high stress and high pressure that like that it actually calms him down listening to something that's like fast paced because his mind's always like racing.
So that's like the only noise your brain can process,
Correct.
pretty much.
So for
Interesting.
me, when I listen to that, it's like it actually helps me focus and it helps calm me down because I'm like, all right, I'm going a million miles an hour. This music is like it's kind of like we're meeting each other, we're leveling out.
Yep. What
But
kind of artists do you listen to? I have to know now.
I mean, you're probably not gonna know any of
I
them.
might.
I mean, I listen to a lot of like old like Pantera,
Okay.
Slayer, Megadeth, some old Metallica, but that's
My
like mainstream. I listen to stuff that's
Okay, so it's like metal, metal.
yeah, I
Okay.
like hardcore punk, like straight edge type stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so metal music, hard
Yes.
heavy metal.
Heavy metal, hardcore. I'd also say genuine conversations. Even if you don't have kids that like that are younger that you can talk to, like calling someone like after a long day, like if you call someone like your parent or your brother or your sister or your close friend, like these people are going to be genuine with you on the phone. And our job is to stay genuine, stay authentic. And I feel like it levels yourself out. So I always tell people like, call someone, have a conversation. I know we're on the phones all day long, but literally call your mom, talk to her for 10 minutes just about your day. Like it helps kind of level yourself out. And then at night, I'll go on like Reddit, YouTube,
Yeah,
watch funny videos.
absolutely. Hey, classic. Classic way to unwind.
I'm a Redditor for sure.
Fair enough. I like Reddit for like the most insane solutions. Like when we're figuring out stuff with tech and stuff, Reddit's
Oh,
great for
yes.
that. But I
Mortgage
mean,
origination Reddit's actually a really funny page too. Just seeing some of the things that people complain about, it's funny.
you're gonna have to send that to me
Yeah,
because that would help me see a different side of
you
the
should go.
mortgage world.
Literally, I think it has like couple 100,000 followers, but it's like mortgage originators that are some of this crazy stuff. Like you'll have to look, but it's they
Okay.
post some of the craziest stuff, and I'm like, how is this even possible? But yeah,
Well, I'll take your word for it.
no.
But again, you've been at IHL for, 4 months now.
Mhm.
Where do you see your future with us here?
I mean, I would love to be, given the opportunity, I would love to obviously be down in the leadership realm eventually. I do say, and I told Eric this as well, like it is a little refreshing taking because I've been recruiting, hiring. Because like the previous place I was at, I was working with some kind of like the ignite people we have. I had people that were preschool teachers, worked at office shipping places, had no sales experience, and I was training anywhere from 5, 10 from them at a time to get to the next level. I think that it's nice being back on the phones because again, it's going to help humble myself, keep myself grounded. It's going to help me realize like how all the objections that we're dealing with, so that way I can use that in my tool belt for, okay, I just came off this market of these clients. I know kind of what they're going through. I've heard all aspects of the sales, so if anything, it's going to help me with my managerial run down the road. But I am enjoying banking right now, believe it or not. I love doing it because it's been so long since I've done it. 4 years that it's nice
Yeah.
to just be.
Keeps
All
you
right,
fresh.
I still got it.
Still got
Yeah,
it. Okay, well, perfect. Well, I hope we can have you on this podcast again, maybe in a few months again and see where
yeah.
you're at. But I see nothing but the best for your future. And thank you so much for being on Insight today.
I appreciate you. Thank you guys for having me.